has been a long time coming, but I have finally got around to creating the ultimate roadkill tier list. This will include almost every single animal that lives in the UK. Basically everything. I did make one of these videos before, relatively long time ago, the roadkill tier list part 1. But that video's trash, I deleted it, and I lost the file, so that's lost media now. So I'm remaking it, but I'm remaking it better. Insert cool editing intro. So this tier list is going to be ranking roadkill based off of tastiness. Because if we being real, who buys food anymore to scrape it off the side of the road like a normal person? First up, we have the majestic hedgehog. See, this animal, it doesn't have a lot of meat on its bones, that's why it's an F tier. They're also really rare, because you never see them around roads. They live in, like, people's gardens. And you can't really eat them because of all the spines. Like, when you do see a hedgehog that's been hit by a car, I don't know why, but they just kind of explode. No meat on their bones, really hard to eat, and seeing a dead hedgehog is just kind of sad. So, yeah, F tier. They're better than some other animals, but not good by any means. Terrible food. Also in the F tier, we have mice. See, mice are also pretty terrible. They're tiny. An entire mouse is basically just less meat than a chicken wing. And they also get stuck to the tire when they get hit because they're so small. So, yeah, again, terrible food. Don't eat these. So, next we have the hamster. See, hamsters are very similar to mice in the fact that they're tiny, but they're even smaller and way rarer. They do have less diseases, but England doesn't naturally have, like, hamsters in the wild, so you know it's an escaped hamster that's been smushed by a car, and there's some little girl crying out there somewhere. I actually used to have 2 hamsters. They were Russian dwarf hamsters. Nibble and Twitch. So I would like to put them higher on the list because I'm biased towards animals that I've had as pets. I want them to have a good tier. But I need to be realistic for this tier list. Don't eat hamsters. They're terrible. Okay, next we have the chicken. See, chickens, they're weird. You don't see them in the wild. The only time where you'd see a chicken is if it escaped from, like, a farm and then got hit by a car. So, chickens are great food. You eat them every day. Chickens are amazing. But birds naturally don't have a lot of meat on their bones. They're mostly feathers. And combined with the fact that this chicken has just been smushed by a car and its bones have shattered like glass and embedded into its flesh, no. Like, don't eat that. That's disgusting. Like, raised in a farm and slaughtered, chickens are yummy yum-yums. But hit by a car and you scrape them off the road, like, it's beyond saving at that point, no. Next, we have the rat. See, rats are like mice in the fact that they don't have a lot of meat on their bones, but they're way bigger. I once saw a rat that was about the size of a cat. So I used to live in a block of flats, and I was walking around, and I saw a rat, yeah. It was like the size of my forearm. It's actually bigger than some cats I've seen. So rats are really weird. They're either nothing at all, and you get a bunch of diseases from eating them, like bubonic plague, or they're a lot of meat. So it's basically just a mouse, but it's actually big enough to feed you. But it carries so many diseases, so it's a gamble. I'd still consider it better than mice, though. Okay, next we have robins. See, robins, they're interesting. See, they're terrible. Probably the worst bird you can eat in the UK. Really small, their entire body mass is about 1 chicken wing, and birds have hollow bones, which means they break really easily. Like, if you saw a robin get hit by a car and you picked it up, it would be horrible. It'd just be like bones, nothing else, mostly bones. terrible eating experience. Do not eat these at all. Okay. Next we have the sky rat or the seagull. Probably wondering, why did I put seagulls higher than chickens? See, chickens are really hard to catch in the wild. See, chickens are easier to get and they taste better, but this is a roadkill tier list. Now, it's extremely rare to see a seagull get hit by a car, but you don't need to hit it with a car in order to eat a seagull. All you gotta do is just go to the beach, get some chips, hold them out, wait for a seagull to swoop down and try and steal your food. Then you grab them, break their neck, and now you have free food. You just went from one chip to a whole seagull. Like that has to be a life hack. Come on. So, seagulls are pretty good. Underrated, in my opinion. You can just eat as many of them as you want. They're basically just sky rats, but more meat. They're great. Okay, next we have the swan and black swan that I'm going to be rating together. So, a swan is absolutely massive. Pretty sure it's the biggest bird in the UK. Very muscly things. They have a lot of muscle on them. It's rare to see them get hit by cars because they live by rivers. But they're a lot of food. They're good. Like, swans are great. Swans are great. I'm pretty sure it's illegal to eat a swan. But hey, illegal immigrants kill swans and eat them for free food all the time. You can get away with it if you're stealthy enough. Black swans are just the premium version of swans. They're just so much better. I've only ever seen a black swan twice in my life. They're like a shiny Pokemon. They exist. Some people think they don't exist. Beautiful animals. Probably taste exactly the same as a normal swan, but it's way cooler. It's like the posh version. Like, there's I eat swans, and there's I eat black swans. Like, you just sound so much more rich if you say that you eat black swans. It comes with an aura bonus, okay? So, down in the F tier, we have the two kinds of snakes that live in the UK. There is, I believe, three or four, but the other ones are irrelevant. And besides, snakes are so rare in the UK, I've only ever seen one in my entire life. There's the grass snake, and then there's the irrelevant ones. The irrelevant ones are slightly cooler to eat because, they're rare. There is an aura factor to this. Snakes suck to eat, though, because they have so many bones. Their entire body, biologically, is just a giant rib cage, so deboning them is horrible. And then you have to add in the fact that those bones will all be broken because this animal has just been hit by a car. So deboning them will take multiple hours, if not days. These are terrible. They're still pretty big, and you can eat them like a kebab, so they do have some bonuses, I guess. Okay, speed round, bunch of birds. So, the magpie. They're pretty smart birds. See, these ones are rare. Magpies and crows. They don't get hit by cars, because most of the time they're smart enough to dodge cars. And even if they do get hit by a car, it's like, there's barely anything there. Let's be real. So magpies are pretty trash, but they're still kind of cool because they're rare. That's about it. Um, pigeons. Pigeons are mostly feathers. I know they have they're very pudgy, they're very big, but trust me, they're mostly feathers. The reason why they're this high is they're so easy to catch. Like, unless you're directly in front of them, they just don't run away from you. Like, you could just go to, London or Woking with, a bat and just start swinging at the pigeons, and now you have free food. So, pretty good. Worse than seagulls, because they're smaller. Now, the first animal on the list that actually tastes good is the pheasant. These things are absolutely scrumdiddlyumptious. Great birds to eat. Again, this is a roadkill bird. If it's just the pheasant by itself, that'd be an A tier, but the fact that it's been hit by a car bumps it down a bit. You can only find them in a countryside, so they're pretty rare loot, though. Next, we have the red kite in C. Red kites, usually predator animals taste terrible, but red kites are pretty big and really cool, so they're getting top of C for now. Okay. Adding some more birds in, we got crows in C tier, basically the same as magpies, but they're a little bit cooler. They have better drip, in my opinion. The geese, or the goose, nice bird, nice bird. It's basically just a premium duck. I personally don't like the way they taste, and it's rare to see them near roads because they're river animals. Anyhow, I will be including farm animals on this list. So we have pigs, sheep, and horses all in the A tier. Hopefully, I don't get like a copyright strike for using Peppa Pig. Yeah, I should be fine. So, pigs, they taste good. You can make a lot out of them, and they're really big. But the problem is, they're so heavy, you can't really just stuff them into your car if you see a dead one on the side of the road. And usually people own them. So, yeah. The same thing goes with sheep, but I consider sheep better because you can get like a full coat out of that. Horses are the highest out of the farm animals I've put in so far because they're the biggest, most meat. So you'd think, oh, the S tier, easy, but they're literally impossible to get into your car. Now, I like horses. Horses are just every white girl's favorite animal, and for good reason. These things are so cool. So, it is cool to see a horse on the side of the road. Little sad, because, same as Hampter, there's probably some little girl crying out there somewhere because her horse died. But, yeah, horses are nice. Horses are nice. They get a solid A tier. Okay, next we have rabbits. So I accidentally deleted the footage for this section, so I'm re-recording it. That's why the order's all weird. They're solid. They taste nice. I remember, I know a girl that owns rabbits, and I know a guy that goes rabbit hunting, and he shot a rabbit in the head, and its skull, exploded from the inside out, and I explained that story to her in vivid detail, because I'm a great friend. So, moral of the story, most rabbits are just the pet of some girl, so when you run them over and eat them, someone's going to be crying. It's the same case as hamsters and horses, but they still taste nice, so C tier. Next, we have foxes. So, most predatory animals, as I've said before, taste pretty mid. Foxes are alright, I guess. They're pretty big, so there's a lot of meat on their bones. And you only ever see them on, the side of motorways. Legit, I once saw, 20 of them just lined up dead on the side of a motorway. So if you want free food, scrape up the foxes from the side of the M25. So, foxes are pretty good, B tier. Next, we have deer. Now, buck and doe, I'd separate them. See, a doe. I've only ever seen one doe in my entire life, and it was a dead roadkill one. So a doe is pretty alright. Got a lot of meat on its bones. Big, big animal. They have a lot of meat, but they are kind of thin. So, and they're kind of hard to get into your car. So does are alright, B tier. I'm putting bucks higher because they're the same as does, but you get more meat and you get the cool antlers, so it's extra stuff. So you get bonus loot with a buck rather than a doe. So in my opinion, it's better. A tier. Have to text someone, my bad. So let's go over the cats. Okay. So there's a lot of different types of cat. There's the normal cat, there's the weird bold ones. I'm putting both of those in C tier. See, cats, I have cats. Lovely animals. They're very stretchy. Yeah, they've very flexible bones. They're not very good to eat. They'd be very chewy animals. And they're kind of hard to find as roadkill because they're fast enough to just sidestep the car, pretty much. I'm putting hairless cats slightly higher because, you don't have to shave them before eating them. It's easier. Above them in the B tier is Bengals. See, I used to have two Bengal cats. One of my favorite types of cat. They're just normal cats, but pretty. Just shiny Pokemons, basically. Kind of like how a black swan is just a cooler white swan. Above them, I have Maine Coons. Maine Coons are great. They're great. A lot of meat on their bones, very big. They're basically just a fox, but a cat. So, yeah. And at the top of the cats list, we have lynxes. See, lynxes aren't currently in the UK. Actually, I think there's a few in Scotland. But besides that, okay, so the plan is since England doesn't have any natural predators, we're going to reintroduce lynxes as like to regulate the ecosystem better. So when lynxes show up in the England update, they're going to be great food. It's basically just a much more muscly fox. Really cool, great animals, love to eat them. Okay, next we have some dogs. I've done all the cats. There's more dogs than cats. This might take a bit longer. At the bottom in D tier, we have pugs. Because honestly, I feel bad for pugs. We should have never created them. Okay, so this is the pug lore. Okay, this is the pug lore. So, wolves. When we first started domesticating wolves, we wanted them to be cuter. So, we'd force the wolves to have sex with their siblings to create little mutant inbred wolves that look cuter. And the pug is the end result of that. This is descended from a wolf. That's all I want you to know. They're tiny, their skull shaped like a tuna can. Uh, they're born with like severe breathing problems. Like, look at that thing. It practically wants to die, so like being a pug is basically hell. So I would consider hitting a pug with my car to be merciful. Next, we have corgis. Now, us in the UK, mate, we love our royal family. Like, yes, they exploit us, and most of them are pedophiles. I would like to retract my statement of loving our royal family. So, corgis, they're the royal dog. You think about the queen when you're eating a corgi. So it's like, eating a corgi is like the American equivalent of eating a turkey. It's traditional. It's traditional. Next, we have huskies, also in B tier. Big dogs, very big, very muscly, closest to wolves, a lot of food. Good food. Yeah. Okay, pulling up the rest of the dogs, we got the pit bull. See, pit bulls, they are so jacked, the princess pit bulls, that they'd probably survive being hit by the car, and you have to stomp on them a few times to actually kill them before you eat them. So that's not a pleasant experience. And if you have like kids in the car, there's a chance the pit bull will just eat like your children. So, it's dangerous to run over a pit bull and eat it. Um, Sausage dogs are like the same category as pugs, in my opinion. Just this thing we've just horrifically mutated into an ungodly abomination. Like, the moment man decided that we should just absolutely ravage nature for our own, like, entertainment is the moment we were doomed to fail as a species. I think we're all going to go extinct within the next 10,000 years. And the fact that we created sausage dogs and pugs is like proof of that. Like, our pride and our malice is just horrific. Okay. Up in B tier, we have the golden retriever, the classic dog. Everyone has this dog. See, most people would feel guilty eating a golden retriever, but I don't see it that way. I'm a firm. No, no, no. This is the truth. The truth is that all life is equal. Because there is no, like, factor within the universe that says that some life is more valuable than other life. Like, when a human being says, oh, I'm more valuable than this ant, you don't have the right to say that because you're not in a position of power. Like, you're going to die, and that ant's going to die, and in 100 billion years, both of you are just going to be stardust. So, you're not in a position of power to judge other living things. So, the only thing that could determine the value of a life is something transcendent of life, or God. And God either, okay, if God does exist, it has never directly stated that life is more valuable than other life, so therefore all life is equal. And if God doesn't exist, that factor that decide the value of life doesn't exist, so therefore all life is equal. So if you're an atheist or a theist, the only logical conclusion is that all life is equal. Okay, that makes sense. So, I personally believe, okay, if you're willing to eat like a pig or a cow and you're not willing to eat a cat or a dog, that's discrimination. See, there's two kinds of discrimination, positive and negative. Treating something worse because of the way it was born and treating something better because of the way it was born. Yeah. So negative discrimination would be like racism. Positive discrimination would be like being kind to a rich person because you want their money. Both of these are just as evil. They're both discrimination fundamentally. I also apply this to nature. See, if you're willing to treat a dog or a cat better than a pig because of the animal it was born as, you're discriminating against nature. You're evil. That's my thought process. Now, I'm not a vegan. Yeah. I'm a human being. I'm a carnivore. I need meat to like survive. That makes sense. Yeah. So, my belief is that every single animal should be treated with the same respect after it's dead. So, if you're willing to eat a pig, the only way to like pay respects to that pig is for you also to be willing to eat your dog. So you're treating all life equally. You're not discriminating. Everything all life is valuable and all life is going to be food after it dies. So the only way for humanity to treat all animals equally is if we started eating every single animal. Except for like endangered stuff, because duh. Okay, no one cares about my philosophical opinions. I'm gonna be quiet. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, dogs. Yeah. Golden retrievers are pretty solid. I'd say they're better than corgis just because they're like the classic dog who doesn't love a golden retriever. So, yeah. Okay, just realized I forgot the duck and the cow. So the duck's in C, it's basically just a worse goose. And the cow's in A. I'm just gonna put it above the black swan, just because in my opinion, cows are like the best tasting meat. Actually, I'm bumping cows up to S. Cows are amazing. Cows up to the S tier. Feels essential. Uh, I'm gonna go over some animals I forgot. This is gonna be a speed round. So tortoises. Most tortoises are just like house pets. If you see a tortoise, probably it's an escape pet. I've only ever seen one wild tortoise, and tortoises. See, if they get hit by a car, yeah, like in order to eat the tortoise, you're gonna have to like scrape it out of its shell, which is really annoying. It's terrible food. Next, we have crabs, slightly below chickens. Crabs taste good. The problem is they rot like really quickly, and they have a ton of armor you have to peel off. Besides that, they're great. What's next? Okay, the crane. I think that's what they're called. Like the kingfish or whatever. I don't know. The things that like loom over rivers. See, they're like swans, but they're skinny and ugly. So just worse swans, basically. I bumped the white swan up to 8 or I ran out of space. Next, we have llamas and alpacas. They're basically the same thing, so I just grouped them together. Probably the worst out of the farm animals to eat. Like, if you run a llama down with your car, like, llamas are annoying. If it, like, spits on you and then you run it over, like, you won't feel bad about running it over because it spat on you. So, there is that benefit. And, the best out of all the animals that I forgot is the seal. Now, it's rare to see a seal get hit by a car because they don't go to roads. They just loom at beaches and then screw off. But seals probably taste good. I've never tried one, but they're mammals, which means they have nice juicy meat, like cows and pigs and stuff. But they live in the sea. I love seafood, and a seal is like a mix of seafood and like traditional mammal protein like cows. It's like a mix of my two favorite things. So clubbing a seal to death and eating it would honestly be amazing. But that's just my assumption for how a seal would taste. Okay, next we have people. We got men and women in the A tier. C. People. Now, we're not going to be eating them. I'm not Hannibal Lecter. I don't believe there's anything morally wrong with eating a human, though. I will say that. So, we're not eating a human if you see them on the side of the road. Like, if a person gets hit by a car, one, people are just durable enough to, so they would probably just survive and be fine. So, if you wanted to eat a person after they were hit by a car, you'd have to, like, stomp them out. So, you know. The benefit of going to a person after they've been hit by a car is, let's say you see someone get hit by a car, then you save their life. Now that person's indebted to you, and you can manipulate them into giving you money. So all of the other stuff is just like food and clothing. Humans are money. You can get money out of humans. You can like manipulate and blackmail them into giving you money because they'll feel indebted to you because you saved their life. Or you can eat them. Either. So I ranked women higher than men because women taste better than men. Higher fat content, more edible meat. So they're about equal, but if you were going to eat them, I'd say it's better to eat a woman than a man, taste wise. So I ranked women a bit higher. It's better to just manipulate and blackmail them, though, after you save their life. Okay, next we got the standing deer, one of my favorite animals. So, the standing deer, my favorite variant of deer, you see this in the woodlands sometimes. So, they're just like normal deer, except they don't move, and they just stand still and like stare at trees. See, because of their really weird posture, if they get hit by a car, they just kind of crumble. Like a deer is on all four legs, that's stable. If you hit these things with a car, they just go rolling and like break everything. So it's similar to the normal deer, but the fact that it's so much easier to kill than like most other deer would put it pretty high. Better than a doe, worse than a buck, but still solid. The standing deer is a good food option. Okay, next we have the human child. See, the human child's a weird one. See, if a human child gets hit by a car, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to eat human beings. Actually, yes, it is. So there is a risk factor if you do eat the human instead of blackmailing them. Sorry, manipulating them, because it is illegal. With the kids, see, children are really poor. They don't really have any money, so you can't manipulate the child into giving you money after saving their life. So that's out the window. Children don't have any money. If you eat them, children are underdeveloped, so they'll taste worse and there's less meat. So, children are just a terrible option to eat if you hit one with your car. I'd recommend just taking them to a hospital and hoping their parents give you money, just like manipulate their parents. So, it's basically the same as like normal humans, except your chances of getting money are significantly lower. And if you are going to eat them, it's a significantly worse option, and it's like extremely illegal. So. Okay, next we have the shadow people, one of my favorite animals in the UK. They're real, by the way. So, a shadow person, if you hit one with your car, they're really skinny, so they're probably just gonna die. You can, like, sell their bodies to, like, hunters. You know, those people, like, collect rare animal corpses. If you kill a cryptid, you can just sell their body to that guy, and now you're rich. So, running over cryptids is like making money 101. Okay, so next we have skinwalkers. See, skinwalkers, they're like shadow people in a way where they're cryptid. You can just sell them. I've seen these, by the way. They're definitely real. See, if you want to eat a human, you can't really do that because it's illegal. But if you run over a skinwalker, they taste exactly the same as a human, so it's fine. And they're really skinny. Like, I don't know why people are afraid of these things, genuinely. Like, you can run them over going 35 and you've just completely killed them. They are so fragile. Like a starving Ethiopian child. Just, yeah, really easy to kill. Skinwalkers are a good option for food. Okay, so next we got aliens. These are a solid food source. See, if you hit an alien with your car, they don't taste so good, but they are pretty exotic. you can like give their body to the CIA or FBI, just any government agency, and they give you a ton of money. Yes, they will survey you for the rest of your life. But if you just go up to like a government building, like, yo, I got a dead alien in my car, they'll either kill you or they'll give you money or you can join them. So it is, a gamble. See, you can either eat the alien and you have like you're like the first human being to ever eat an alien, one of the first. Or you can give their body to like those schizophrenic ancient aliens people and you get a ton of money. But you can give their body to the government and get a ton of money and political power, or they just assassinate you. So it's a gamble, but who doesn't love gambling? So aliens are an S tier in my opinion. Okay, so next we got the lizard people that live underneath the Earth's crust. They're real, by the way. So if you hit one of these things with your car, you can just eat them. Like, reptiles don't taste very good, but you can eat them. Or give their body to the Illuminati for money. See, they're kind of the same as aliens, but with aliens you can get, like, a bunch of weird diseases from eating them. Lizard people actually evolved on Earth, so if you eat these, you don't, like, die if you don't cook them correctly. So if you don't cook an alien correctly, you just die. Like, you can't handle the pathogens within its body, but this is fine. This exists on the same planet. I'm still ranking aliens higher because they're rarer than the lizard people, and their brains taste much better. Very big, juicy, firm brain compared to the lizard people. Like, not saying the lizard people are dumb. They're pretty smart. I've met a few of them, but, they're not that smart. Alright, lastly, we have Ashtar's race. This is also the same category that Aryans would fall into. So, since these things are aliens, yeah, which means they're technically not people. So they don't have human rights. If you hit them with your car, you can still eat them, yeah. So, they taste alright, basically exactly the same as humans. See, I said skinwalkers are better, like, humans. Like, they taste like a human, but they're really skinny. Yeah. And it's fine to eat them. This is the same thing, but it's like a full organism rather than just skin. I'm actually going to rank them higher. Give me 1 sec. Okay, I feel like that's more reasonable for the Aryans. So, basically a human, but they taste better, and they got like the same brain thing as the aliens, where their brains taste really nice. Not as rare as pure aliens, though. Oh, by the way, all of this is real, by the way. I've seen all of this stuff dead on the side of the road. So, that's my list of roadkill. How tasty this roadkill is if you were to scrape it off the side of the road. See, I could have included, like, different races of people, but, I don't want to get demonetized. And I could have included different classes, like homeless people, but, we both know that's, like, a D tier. Who's eating a homeless person? Ugh, God. So that's the list. You can comment down your own list if you want. Remember to unsubscribe, dislike the video, and leave death threats in the comments. This has been Nobody, and I can't think of an outro format.